Hey guys, welcome back to Games of War. Today's episode is the most disappointing game ever. Now those are bold words, true. But for me, this is my own personal opinion, this is the most disappointing game that I've ever played. And I want to hear from you guys, what is a game that really disappointed you, just totally let you down, and really just stung right here. So after the video guys, in the comments, please let me know. Let's go ahead and get started. So the most disappointing game ever comes from a series of games that are my favorite of all time. They're RPGs, and for those of you that follow the channel, know my taste in games, you probably know what they are already. For those of you that don't know, can I get a drum roll please? Drum roll please! Lunar Silver Star and Lunar 2 Eternal Blue. These are my favorite role-playing games of all time. Something about these games, from the moment I played the first Lunar Silver Star, it just hooked me in a way that I've never been hooked in gaming before. It totally ignited my passion for RPGs. And I've talked about these games in great detail in past videos. I think I have one up on the channel now. Working Designs, Sega CD RPGs. If you want to hear an in-depth kind of review and talk about both these games, please go ahead and check that video out. But I'll make it brief for the sake of this video. Lunar Silver Star originally came out on the Sega CD way back in '93. The storyline revolves around a young man named Alex who daydreams of becoming a Dragon Master. He's got an idol, Dragon Master Dine, who he worships and looks up to. Now, Dragon Master Dine is either missing or dead. No one knows where he's at, but Alex dreams of becoming just like him. He reads stories about the four heroes, which was Dragon Master Dine, Lemia Susu, Galleon, and Master Mel. Now, these four heroes joined forces and defeated the Magic Emperor, saved the goddess Althena, and have become stuff of legend. Now, the second game, Lunar 2 Eternal Blue, takes place 1,000 years, I believe, in the future. And basically what Lunar 2 does is, it's a perfect sequel in my opinion. It celebrates all the events of the first game and really lets you see all those events that happen through the eyes of a new character. You play as Hero in this game and you meet up with all kinds of great characters. And that's the thing about these two games, is that the characterization is so strong, you become so attached to the characters. What makes Lunar 2 so special as a sequel is that everything that you've done in the first Lunar is celebrated in the sequel. You play as Hero, and the way Alex looked up to Dragon Master Dine in the first game, Hero looks up to Dragon Master Alex. And throughout the game, you see all the things that Alex has done in the first game, and you remember that stuff from playing it. You're like, wow, I remember doing that, and here is Hero kind of worshipping Alex and wanting to be just like him. So you get a great sense of adventure from both games. The first game is so magical, everything you do has a big impact on you, and then you play the second one and you kind of re-celebrate all those events playing as Hero. The games work very well, and I could not have been more excited for Lunar 3 back then. So is the most disappointing game Lunar 3? No, it's not, because Lunar 3 has never been made. And trust me guys, I have got in a notebook a full script written that I did shortly after completing Lunar 2. I was so involved and immersed in this series, I wrote my own script for Lunar 3, and it would be the perfect sequel. Now just let me tell you real quick, and I know this idea would be awesome and would work because they kind of used my idea in the PSP remake of Lunar Silver Star Story. In this version, they had a little playable intro where you play as the four heroes from the first game. You're like Dine and the other heroes, Mel and Susu and Galleon, and you're fighting to save the world. Well, if they made a Lunar 3, the perfect game would be to take place before Lunar Silver Star, the events before. Playing as the original four heroes would be so awesome. I mean, they are talked about so much in the first game and celebrated. Dragon Master Dine, Master Mel, Galleon, Lemia Susu. It would just be so awesome to play a full-fledged game playing these characters that are celebrated so much. That would make the perfect Lunar 3 sequel. So the game that is most disappointing to me, unfortunately moving on, is none other than Lunar Dragon Song on the Nintendo DS. Now, when this game was first announced, it was a really big deal. fans of Lunar, myself, I was just so excited. There's a couple of reasons to be excited. First of all, on the front of the box, this proudly states from the developers or creators of the original Lunar Silver Star. That right there is reasons enough to be extremely excited. The original team working on it. Second of all, this was the first kind of full-fledged traditional RPG for the brand new dual screen portable. So I was excited double-fold. But as soon as I got the game is where the excitement stopped. Now what makes this game the biggest letdown? Let's go ahead and start with the characters. Lunar, you play as Alex. He is a wannabe Dragon Master adventurer full of life and ready to go out and go on an adventure of his own. The second game, Hero, you start off, you're raiding a tomb, exploring, stealing a big jewel and trying to make it out alive, excitement. You begin Lunar Dragon Song playing as Gian Campbell, who is a worker for the Gads Express. That's right, you basically work for a medieval FedEx. Questing and fetch questing is never very exciting, and it's not exciting here. So right off the bat, the main character and the supporting characters just aren't as lively and as not interesting like the characters from the original games are. It's just not, it doesn't happen. And it's a really big disappointment. The animations, drawings, artwork is very much in the similar style of Lunar. It just doesn't feel right as a story and as a character. I mean, the story is definitely the strong point of the game, but it just didn't hook me in like the original. Some major problems. Major problem number one, there's no overworld map. Now this pisses me off. One of the great things about the Lunar games was the overhead map, aside from having some of the best music that I've heard in RPG, they were huge, expansive, they gave the world personality, they gave the game personality. You had to find these locations and traverse these and go through massive battles. There was no arrow pointing you in the right direction to go. You had to learn the land and you had to survive. This game, you go to a static screen and you get to point and click where you want to go. It's not fun. It takes away from the immersion of the game, and I cannot stand when role-playing games forego an overhead map for a simple point and click where you want to go system. It's bullshit. The second thing I could not stand in this game was the battle system. A major, major, major sin. You have no control over which enemies you're attacking. That's right, the game just picks it for you. So if you're doing battle with a major set of monsters, one's about to die, one's got full health, you're not doing so well yourself, you hit the attack button and the computer decides to attack the guy that's full health, leaving the guy that could have been killed in one hit still alive to come back and wipe your ass out. It's completely idiotic. It sucks all the strategy from the battle systems of the first two games and just basically throws it out the window. Not being able to select your enemies that you're fighting is a total douchebag mistake, and it really drives me crazy with the combat. Third thing that's a big problem. Running takes away hit points. I'll let that set in for a second. Running takes away hit points. The walking speed in this game is dreadfully slow. You walk slow as hell, it takes forever to get anywhere. And if you try to run, it's going to start taking away your hit points. You're going to see little sweat marks flying off the character, and your hit points start being sucked down. Whoever thought it was a good idea to make you lose hit points to run should be standing here in front of me so I can punch him in the damn face, because it's an idiotic idea and it doesn't work well. It's not fun. So those are three major flaws that really bothered me about the game. And overall, the storyline isn't quite as strong as the earlier entries in the series. I just don't feel a strong connection with Gian and the supporting cast in this game. The storyline is kind of a hodgepodge of earlier ideas thrown together. There's still the goddess Althena. She's made this barren land have life. But now there's humans and beastmen, and they're kind of, butting heads. They're at war, along with the Vile tribe. So you meet other characters, and they get wrapped up in this storyline to save the world from the Vile tribe, all the while settling this score with the beastmen. I'm not going to go into detail because, frankly, it's not worth it. This game had a lot riding on its name and history, and it totally let me down in every way. It still stings. Every time I play Lunar 1 or Lunar 2, go back and play them and enjoy them, it pisses me off even more that this game exists. because it's not even in the same league as the first two. It's one of the games that disappointed me most in gaming, and I think it is an utter disgrace. Guys, I want to thank you for watching this video. If you have a game that just totally pissed you off, totally ruined a series for you, or just overall disappointed you in general, let me know about it. I want to thank you guys for watching. As always, Games of War is nothing without you.